Hello everyone, Abby here, Purple Cottage Crafts, and welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. I do have my camera on my smaller tripod, but I'm holding it with my left hand, my non-dominant hand, because of this. So I apologize if there's any extra shaking. So I am getting ready to start on a project that has been in my mind ever since these 3D embossing impresslets came out from Timmy a few years ago. And the opportunity and timing is perfect because it's something I can implement into my craft room. So what I'm working on, or what I'm going to be doing, I have these cabinets here. Make sure I won't trip over my stool here. So we got these at Home Depot. They're just off the, am I seeing that? Oh, there we go. They're just off the shelf. I originally wanted to have glass front cabinets, but just because it was twice the price of what I had budgeted for the cabinetry for my downstairs room, at least these two cabinets, I decided, nah, I don't want to do that, spend that much money. So these are great. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off. These are great. They're the shaker style on the front, is what it's called. And they're just, the doors were white, but the inside were that laminate kind of brown. And that's not what I wanted. The shelves were the same color. Try not to make you dizzy here. Whoop. There are the shelves. They're right down there. So there's 2 shelves per cabinet, but of course I can get more if I need to do that. So we're going to just start with the 2. Sorry, it's so awkward using my non-dominant hand. So what I'm doing with the die, or the embosslet, or whatever you want to call it, is I'm going to create on the back wall of each cabinet my own faux tin backing. And those sheets you can get from Home Depot and Lowe's, they're like 20 bucks a pop. That's really, or no, it's actually more than that. It was 25 something. I think that's really expensive, and plus the fact it wouldn't be a more than one full square just because of the size of them. So I thought this would be a great way for me to use those 2 embossing, let me get the right name here, texture fades. There we go. Let me hold this up so you can see it better. His 3D texture fades. I keep wanting to say embossing folder, but that's what he calls them. Well, 3D embossing folder. Anyway, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for me to use them, and it's some type of crafting where I can actually do it, because I don't, it doesn't require me bending my finger, you know, hardly at all. So I'm super excited about this project. Of course, these are not stuck to the wall. They're just, or the cabinet back, they're just leaned against there, because I was just trying to get an idea of how many I would need to go across. So I may need to, as I go, have some type of border on each side, but I have other embossing folders, or I can even cut strips of those down. I'll see as I go. I'm just getting everything kind of prepped right now. So what I've been doing is as part of the prep here, I'm actually going to stop for just a quick second. I'm going to set my tripod down on top of my dresser so I can use both my hands to show you. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I'm using. I got this these 2 packs from Amazon. I'll link all the supplies below, but you can also get this from QVC or HSN, I forget which one I ordered from, but it's the Crafter's Companion. It's the craft metal, and that's the sheet size. You get 20 per pack, and this is the thickness of it. Kind of show you. And then I just cut each sheet, because each sheet is 8.5, and so I just cut it to 4 1/4, which is the perfect size for this embossing folder, 3D embossing folder. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm just cutting down the full-size sheets. And you can get these in 12 by 12. You can get them all different kinds of sizes. You can get some that have adhesive backing on it. You can get probably something similar at the home stores, Lowe's, that kind of thing, where it's like the metal flashing or something. But Steve, because I was asking about that, and I thought, well, maybe that would be a cheaper option to get, like, you know, a length of it off of a roll, and then because I have to cut it down anyway. And he found these, and this is a really good price, I felt. Plus the fact that I didn't, with the whole, not like a quarantine or with the whole coronavirus, with them not wanting people out and about unless needed and stuff, and Steve's concerned about me just being out and about and stuff, and I, with my other stuff, and so we're just trying to be smart and not go out unnecessarily. So this is from Amazon. So this works out perfect for me I love Crafter's Companion. I have a lot of their product and stuff, and you get 20 per pack, like I said. So I have another 2-pack order coming. That'll probably be here, I think it's the end of the week. So I was really happy that Amazon was able to ship it to me in just 2 days, because I just couldn't wait till the end of the week, heaven forbid. So I will have extra, I'm sure, and that's great because I can use it for other projects. So that's what I'm doing now, and what I'm using to cut it down, because I don't want to use my Fiskars trimmer, the one I use to cut down like my nice papers and stuff, because I just wasn't sure how it would eat up my blade, is I'm just using my Tim Holtz Tonic trimmer. And it works out perfect. I love this. I haven't used this a whole bunch since Steve got it for me, but I really do enjoy it. And this is what they're looking like when I get done. And they're just exactly like it feels just like the tin type. I mean, they even feel better than the ones at Lowe's and Home Depot because they're plastic, which is fine. I was going to use those for like one whole wall, but it would have been, you know, it's again blew up my butt, would have blown my budget for that particular part of the room. But I'm really happy with this. I mean, look at that nice deep embossing in there. I mean, you know, 3D embossing folder. I mean, spot on, Timmy. You can use the backside too if you prefer that. So what's going to happen when I get this all up there? It's not going to stay this way. I'm still trying to toy out the idea if it's easier for me to, I think what I'm going to do is get everything up there, like adhered to the back of the wall, to the back of the cabinet, and then I'm going to paint it white and then sand it. But what I'm going to do a little bit, just so you can kind of, you know, just so it's distressed, but what I'm going to do is take one of these pieces and I'm going to do one half with white and one half with the lavendery color that I have, and see, and then sand it a little, like distress it just lightly, and see which look I like better, because I'm not sure if I want it to be just white with the silver or if I want it to be the lavender and the silver showing through. I haven't decided yet, but I thought it would look really cool on the back of the cabinet. And then I grabbed this one here too. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up using these. I was thinking of using, you know, cutting out this size and having it kind of like in the corners of them, or like make my own square and make it my own corner, so it kind of mimics the little little corners. I don't know if they're sure what they're technically called, like little decorative details, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna like how that looks because this is pretty busy. But I could, oh, I just thought of something. I could do this just white. I'll still test it to see which if I like the purple or the white better, but I could do this just in all white and maybe do these in the lavender or reversed. I'll have to try it and see which way I like better. But basically that's what I'm doing, just running it through my Vagabond here right now. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and finish in running these through the embossing machine. This pack, this is all the first pack. So I'll probably focus on that here probably for the next little bit. And then I'll come back on when I'm doing something I think is kind of interesting, or just maybe want to do a little bit of process portion with you guys. So I will see you in just a little bit. Okay, so I thought I would go ahead and do, excuse me, an overhead view of what I'm doing with the Vagabond, just in case you can't, you aren't familiar, and maybe the side view wasn't that great. I won't do a bunch of it, just a little bit. So something else I wanted to point out that I'm doing to make these tiles consistent, because as I said, I was putting these together. So this is 4 of them, and I just temporarily used some tape on the back just to hold them together. But I'm making a pattern, see, so like where they meet, here, it's where it's making a pattern. And that's just what I want to do. You of course don't have to do that if you choose to do this project. But when you put your, at least for the size of craft metal sheets that I'm using, when you put your sheet down on here, it doesn't go down to the end of the embossing folder. See how you have like this 1/2 inch strip? So if I was just kind of, you know, putting it here one time all the way down to the end, maybe in the middle to where I had, you know, a margin on each side, the designs are not going to match up because they're all going to be different and random, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just happen to kind of want to try to keep mine consistent if I can. So I've just been lining mine up at the very tippy top of the embossing folder, and then I just, you know, close it down. And so that's so it's, you know, I'm being a little particular because of that. And then I'm just using the platform, putting the embossing folder down. I don't need a cutting pad underneath because these are thicker than your normal embossing folders. And I just put a cutting pad on top. And I'm not sure which direction I have this going because here we go. I'm just going to run this through. My button kind of sticks because mine's the original one. And it's just, it gets a lot of work. It's working great. I don't need another one. But anyway, so I just happened to notice that. I'm not sure why I said that out loud. It doesn't matter. So anyway, I just, you know, I know that we've been seeing these all over the place. These are obviously not new. These came out last year. I mean, I think it was 2018 by last year, I mean, if I remember right. But I just am now getting a chance to really, really play with these. And besides just testing a couple different substrates, but I'm just still so impressed. I mean, I took this in the 4-panel piece I just showed you. I took it into Home Depot because we were looking for adhesive options, and I'll get to that a little bit later in the video. And it, you know, I held it up to the plastic big ones that you can buy that are like 25-ish around there per big square. I don't know the measurement of them, but they're larger. And of course, this is being metal, this feels better and nicer, but it just is really cool, and I love the feel of this. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do this last stack to show people how this works, just in case because there are people out there who've never used a Vagabond, like an electronic die cutting machine that might possibly be used to the hand crank ones, and those work great too. I have them as well. But just an overhead view of kind of how I stack the layers and how I'm lining mine up on to this to kind of get the consistent pattern I'm going for. So just wanted to mention that real quick. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so obviously this is not flushed. I just temporarily taped 4 panels together because I was trying to figure out what pattern I wanted it to be. And I like that because they match up, and that's really cool. So that is, like I said, again, just a visual for me, kind of a reference, because I'm going to install them as panels of 4. And I think, and I'm going to start from one side and then work over. And then if I have a gap, then I'll figure that part out. But I'll have Steve come out here and double check me before I actually adhere these to the back of the cabinet for real. Just to make sure I'm not off on my mouth and stuff, because, you know, that is not my strong suit. So anyway, just kind of wanted to show that to you real quick about how 4 of those will look together. I think it's going to be so cool. I'm so excited. it looks really good. So what I'm going to need to do, because Steve helped me because math, and so I have that little bit of a gap, as you can see here. That's easy to fix. Just, yeah, I'm just going to cut that width. It's like a 1/2 inch, I believe, of strips just to go along down the side. And then I'll need that same across the bottom. And I chose to work from the top down because I wanted to have any, if there was going to be a gap or, you know, some kind of a noticeable, you know, me putting pieces in, I'd rather be on the bottom. But I don't think it's going to be noticeable because it's just like when you cut wallpaper and stuff, or, you know, well, things for your house and whatnot, you have to cut things in different widths to finish off what the area that you're working in. So not everything's perfectly square and flush. So, but it's working out really good. And I'll tell you the measurements of everything once I get done. But I just kind of wanted to stop because I need to cut some more. Or get some more emboss, I should say, the ones that I cut that I showed you in a couple clips earlier. But it's just gonna be so cool. I'm so excited. So once I get the rest of the sheets that I have already cut and then have them embossed and then I get them installed, then I will go ahead, because I want to complete one full cabinet before I move on to the next one, just so I can kind of see if there's any kinks, or maybe there's something I could do a little bit differently for the next cabinet that would be easier that I learned from this one, like if I made a mistake, etc., etc. So then once I get all of that done, try not to make you guys sick here, then I will go ahead and start messing around with whether the place, if I actually want to use these, the placement of these, maybe in the corners. I'm not sure. I'll kind of figure it out. But I do need to make sure, I'm glad I just remembered, I do need to make sure I leave one of these off to the side because I want to, what I mentioned earlier about whether I want it to be purple or, you know, like lavender or just white. So I'm going to test half and half on this and see which way I like better. So I need to make sure I keep one off to the side so I don't forget to do that. But I'm really pleased with it so far, you guys. I love it. I think this is an awesome project and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to quit rambling and get back to it, and I will see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so now I have all of the tiles on the back of the cabinet with the exception of about the 1/4 inch margin along the side. And there is really not much of a margin from the bottom of the cabinet to the, you know, the bottom of the tile. So I may just maybe leave that. We'll see how it looks when I paint it. If anything, I could just, you know, put a little strip of something down on the bottom, like, you know, maybe some trim or something. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so what I'm doing now is cutting. I'm getting ready to cut down and go ahead and adhere the side strips down. So I made sure that I had these all going in the right direction because, as you can see, this design, it looks like this on this side and looks like on this side. So I need to make sure that they were all facing this way, and they are. And what I did, because this is how Abby does math, okay? So, and measurements. So this is probably, I'm sure this is not the correct way or probably the easiest way or the right way, but it's the Abby way. It's my project, my cabinet, and I'm gonna kind of do what's easy for me to do. But so, you know, I'm not making this like a tutorial. This is more of a, hey, watch me do this treatment to my cabinet. That's what we're gonna say. So what I did is I just measured by holding up a scrap piece, because I cut out those medallions I told you about, deciding what size I want to use. And I just held it up there and just, you know, made a score mark in it, and then I cut it to the width, and then I just tacked it to this ruler to make it easy for myself. And I thought I could just use my craft knife and cut it, but this is a little bit thicker than I thought it would be with the craft knife. And it's probably because of, like, me still recovering from my tendon repair. Can't put a lot of pressure on my hand and use my finger, so it wasn't comfortable, so I stopped. So I'm just using some scissors. He sent me Timmy scissors, and I'm just cutting these off. And so what I did is I laid the, I didn't film it because I thought it would just be quicker for me to tell you, but I just made sure it was square within the self-healing mat. And then I just, you know, laid this on here, made sure it was on there right. And then I just took my craft knife and just made a light score mark on it. And then I can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see the line right down here, but this will be easy for me to just cut. Now, let's see if Abby can cut a straight line. But this is going to be forgiving, I think, because of the fact that I am going to be painting this and then doing a wet distress over top. So, and I'm not a professional, you know, installer of you know, this isn't wallpaper, but a wall treatment. I'm just, you know, purple loving gal, just wanting to use some Timmy stuff to create a look for my craft room. So I'm actually going to stop because that might bug people. I just realized that might be a very grating noise. So basically that's what I'm doing. And then what I'm going to do is take these 5 strips out, and then I will just spray them and get them tacked up, and then that's it. I am going to let the cabinet sit overnight. I didn't read the back of the can thoroughly. I don't know if it needs like a curing time, but I'm not in any rush to get the first cabinet painted like today. So I'm just going to let it sit overnight, just do its thing, just let it bond and everything. It's sticking up really well. I've done a really good job of making sure I keep burnishing it with the cloth and just kind of pushing it, you know, against the wall and stuff. Because, you know, it's not a flat surface on the backside like this. Sorry for the glare. So it's, you know, it's not like it's got 100% contact. So it's gonna, you know, there's not, some of these areas are pretty, you know, indented from the intricate design, and that's just something I'm working around. I think it's gonna be just fine. So I'll do that, and then the next step, I won't film myself putting these up because it's essentially what I just showed you when I did the larger squares. But I probably will go ahead and at least get my test sample done tonight, whether I want the pink or the white. I may film me painting that. I don't know. We'll see. And then it's kind of toying around with the idea of the medallions. And this is the size. Matter of fact, let's try, before I cut these other ones down. This isn't going to be exact, obviously. I'm just kind of throwing these in here. But we'll just pretend these all 4 are matchy. But they're not in the right direction. That's okay. Just kind of giving you an idea. Let me zoom out a little bit here. And there we go. So obviously they're not flush, but just an idea. You know, because whatever color I, like if I decide to do the back lavender and then wet distress it, and then whatever size medallion I want to use, then I will make that the white. So it kind of pops a little bit. I'm going to see how I like that. So I'm not sure if I want to, you know, do one in the middle of each corner, like each 4 square. Do I want to do the larger one? It's going to be a little easier for me to see when I paint them. So I'm going to dye or cut out. This one here is not just an embossing, it also cuts as well. It says 3D impresslets. And so that's nice that it's also, you know, it's a die cut and the embosslet. So I'll cut out another set so I can do, you know, small and large with purple, another one with white, and just kind of play with it from there and see what I like. So we'll go from there. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, you guys. Just wanted to check in real quick, and I will see you in the next clip.
She's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart covered as a gift, and hope that you'll take it into her side.
So I have the first coat on. Ignore the purple on the white. That's the white part's going to get repainted. So that was just kind of like a basey type coat to cover up the wood. But anyway, so I have the first coat done. And I do think I'm going to paint a second coat. I'm going to let this fully dry tonight. Just because when I'm not in here, the heater's not on. We haven't installed my heating and cooling system in here yet. So I just want to make sure it's fully dry, and then I'll come back out here tomorrow and take a look and then decide if I need to do another coat or not. Oh, I see a little silver spot. There's probably little bits here, but that's okay because I'm going to be doing a wet distress on it anyway. So that is how that looks so far, and I'm really pleased with it. So last night I was going to film it, but I forgot because I was listening to some music. I love Steve Perry, okay? I can't help it. Girl can't help it. Anyway, one of my favorite songs. With Journey anyway. What was I saying? Oh, so I went ahead and, as I mentioned, cut one purple, or, cut extra. I did one with white and one with purple. It's actually Soft Amulet Violet. It's the same color as my wall. But this is just, regular white, whatever. And Steve and I both agreed we liked it better with the lavender being the more prominent color because, me, purple. And then he likes it with the larger medallion. So I'm not really exactly sure where I'm at, but just for example, let's just say I should have taped it up there. But that's kind of what I think I'm going to go for. So I'm going to go ahead and when the rest of my order of foil sheets get here, or metal sheets, excuse me, I'll go ahead and do this same treatment. Because even if I don't like how it looks on the wall when I get done, these are things I can use as embellishments on something different. So, I want to wait until, what I will do is go ahead and do the wet distress probably tomorrow if I feel up to it. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this in the side of the cabinet lighting like this, but on the left, my left, your left, that is where I did some wet distress, and this is just where it's just the solid paint. So I painted the whole thing, and then this morning I came back out and I did wet distress, and it still, came off, so I was happy about that. Because I'm using like wall paint. This isn't like, like special like DIY paint or chalk paint or whatever. So I didn't know if that would work with wet distress because I've never tried just regular wall paint. It's actually Behr paint. I don't know why I thought it would be different, but well, you can't see now, but it says Behr. And here is the information on the paint. Oopsie. Sorry for the shadow in case you like it. It's called Soft Amulet Violet, and it's Behr paint. And just to give you a better visual, this is it on my wall against white and the curtain. So, and I just really like how that looks with the wet distress, with a little bit of the silver showing through. Steve thought that looked good. I like it with just the texture of the embossing. I think that looks awesome too. But my plan was always to do the wet distress look like that. So, and then I'll show you when I do that. It's super easy. So that is kind of where I'm at right now with the project, and just wanted to check in and let you know, and then I'll come back on camera when I'm getting ready to do the next step. So I will see you guys in just a little bit. Oops. Okay, so I am done with the cabinets as far as the installation and the painting, and now I am getting ready to do the wet distress. And I have, ignore the mess over there, but I have just a water bottle, and I'm testing out a couple different rags. I'm going to try a flour. I'm going to try a flour sack towel, and then also just like a general kind of, it's a clean cotton rag. It's in those packs that you can get like at the home improvement store. It's not the ones that look dingy. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, because when I did it on my little test sample, I just used a little corner of a cloth and it worked just fine. So, but anyway, so it almost looks like there's no back on the cabinets because the paint color is the same as the wall. Still keep forgetting to get my outlet covers. Doggone it. Just wanted to kind of document the before I do the wet distress. So I will see you guys in just a little bit. Okay, got you up close and personal. So all I'm doing is just using this cloth that I've been using on the other cabinet, just getting it wet with just some water. I'll show you how much water I'm using. I did find that doing a little bit more concentrated area does seem to work better. Again, this is my first time to do wet distress on a project like this with tin craft metal. Just got it wet right there, and I'm using my non-dominant hand, so pardon me. because I have this set up on the right side. So I'm going to go like right here, and I'm just kind of using my fingertip and just applying some pressure. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub on that, and you can see that the paint is coming off. Now you can distress this as much or as little as you want, just like we would. Can you guys see that? Did I go up too high? Yeah, right there. So you can distress this as little or as much as you want to, just like we would on, gotta use my right hand here. It's awkward to do my left hand. You can, it just like we do on all of our projects with painting on distress with ink or paints and sprays and things like that. So you can have it as heavy or as light as you want. And I hope that that's showing up. There we go. So, sorry, it's the best angle I can do in here with my little mini tripod, but that's the look I'm going for. So, I'll go ahead and get you guys set up on my other tripod, and you can watch me do a little bit of this wet distress. I won't make you watch me do the whole thing, because that'd be very boring. So, just let you see a little bit of it, and then we'll put the medallions on, and then I'm ready to start loading this cabinet up with my mixed media supplies. I'm really excited. This has been a long project, because I've had to work on it in little bits here and there, and I'm excited to see the end of this one so I can continue on with some more. So I will see you in just a minute. Okay, so it is an absolutely gorgeous day here in Oregon. I have my window open, a nice breeze coming in. My husband is watching a movie with Kaylee, and the patio door is open, the screen door is open. So sometimes I can hear clips of the movie, and if that happens, I'll need to just like cut this part short and just put it to process or something, because I don't need to get a copyright strike. So as you saw in the last clip, I was painting these, and the paint I used on these was just my leftover ceiling paint from my when we painted my rooms downstairs and upstairs, and I like it because it almost looks like chalk paint. And I just use that because I'm just trying to use it up. And then I just have my little Mr. bottle. You can use whatever kind of spray bottle you have. It's just what I happen to have close. And I'm just getting this cloth, and this happens to be a flour sack towel. I'm using a cotton rag on the cabinet, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But I'm just taking a little bit of water on here, and I'm just very gently, you almost don't even have to really even rub that hard, and it just takes away the paint from the ridges. So, and you can distress this as much or as little as you want to. And that's kind of the look I'm going for. Some might look different than others. That's okay. I'm not trying to make it matchy-matchy. Now, when I painted these, you can see it's already a little silver spot. I'm okay with that because I'm doing this. If I was going to keep them a solid color, then I would, you know, have gone back with a second coat. Now, if you feel like you've taken too much off, you can always just go back and repaint it. And I'm trying to make sure I'm in frame. Okay, because I have my tabletop tripod and I can't always see the viewfinder unless I lean over, so if I get a little louder, I apologize. But this project is coming close to an end, you guys, and I cannot tell you how happy I am about it. It's been fun, but it's taken a while because I can only do so much at a time. But anyway, so I just kind of want to come on real quick and just show you this part, what I'm doing. Again, this isn't, I'm not making this like a tutorial. This is just more of a, hey, let's watch Abby, you know, not upcycle because they're brand new cabinets, but, you know, watch me kind of Abby at my cabinets to fit the decor and theme in my craft room. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up these last few and just kind of carry on because I'm sure this is very boring for you. And we'll go from there. So I think they look pretty cool. Let me pick up the camera. If you get sicky, just close your eyes for a second. But look how cool those look. They're gonna look so great next in the cabinet in the project. So they're the ones I haven't done yet, and they're the ones I have. So like I said, you can distress these as much as you want or as little as you want. It just depends on the project you're going for. And you can use any kind of paint. I would imagine you can use chalk paint, acrylic paint. I just was trying to, you know, use up the leftover ceiling paint. And like I said, I like the fact that it almost has like a chalky finish on it, and I think that looks really nice. So I don't want it to be super shiny except for the metal that's showing through. So all right, I will see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so now I am ready for the final step of the cabinet project, minus just putting the shelves back in when I'm done. So these are the little medallions that you saw me die cut and use the ceiling paint on and distress them. And what I'm attaching them with is this E6000 glue, and it works perfect. I only have to hold them up there for like maybe 20-30 seconds max, and then it just kind of sticks. It's working out really good. I have the other cabinet that I did, and I came back out the next day and they were fine. They didn't slip or slide down or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this part. I'll just film myself doing a little section because you're not going to be able to see like the perimeter of the cabinet on the inside because of the way, the place I have to put the camera. So I'll save the center of the cabinet to film just so you can kind of see how I'm doing it. But yeah, so just real easy peasy with this. And now watch me, I say that, now watch, I probably just jinxed myself. But anyway, so I think it looks really, really cool in the cabinet. So I will see you when I get a little bit set up inside the cabinet. Okay, so this is about the best angle I can get this. I should have had Steve help me when he was out here earlier, so I apologize for this angle. But just to show you what I'm doing, just grabbing one of the, medallions here, okay? And I'm just putting on some E6000. I'll try to do it in the camera. It's a weird angle because of the viewfinder here, but I'm just I have a glove on just so I don't get this on my fingers, on my skin, and I'm just kind of not doing too much. I don't want to gloop out on the edges, but I'm just kind of squeezing a little bit and I'm smushing it, and then I'm just kind of giving a little blob in the center, and then I'm just kind of squirting it around. So, you know, just apply it like you would for any other project you're working on. And then let's see here, make sure I'm in the right spot, and then I'm just going to press it into the corner. And you can use a towel. In the other cabinet I was just using the cloth that I use for the wet distress, but I'm just kind of using my hand and I'm just kind of pressing it here, and for about 30 seconds or so, and then I move on to the next one, and then I'll go back to the last couple that I put on, and then I just kind of push it again because this does take a little bit for it to dry solid, but it does stay. It doesn't slide down. At least that was my experience. So then I just try to push it enough to where there's some contact. Now this isn't going to be flush because the texture from the texture fade, the background here, is obviously not flat. So, and the back of this is not flat. So that's why I kind of gooped it up into, as good as I could in the back. That way there's some contact. So that's how I've been putting them on. And I only have, let's see, like 4 more to do, so I won't show you that because I don't think I can hold this and do it with my left hand. It's kind of like rubbing your head and patting your tummy. So I will show you when I'm all done. Okay, I just wanted to show you one more time before I put the shelves in. Completely done now with this project, and I think it turned out really good. So I'm really pleased with it. and I think this is going to be just a beautiful thing for me to look at each time I open my cabinets. And even though I'm going to have shelves in here and different items, mixed media bits and brushes and things of that nature, I can still see the beautiful purple backsplash that I just created. And eventually I will be probably upgrading to glass cabinet doors, and then I'll be able to see it all the time. But man, what a beautiful sight for me to see when I open up my doors to my cabinets. It just makes me so happy. I just love it so much. And there they are with the shelves in place. So excited. This just makes me smile so big. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. And you know, like I mentioned before in prior clips, at least I think I did, I've been filming this project for, oh my goodness, a little over a month, because I can only do so much at a time. But this might be considered overkill for a lot of people, especially something that's, you know, not out 100%. You can see the whole time. But this is stuff I like to do, and it makes me happy to do it. And there's probably a quicker way or easier way than what I did as far as what I showed you, but this is my first time to use those embossing folders and the craft metal in this type of application. So, you know, I learn as I go, and that's why I wanted to complete one cabinet first so I could kind of work out the kinks and stuff. So, but I am very, very, very happy with how this turned out for sure. So I love it, and now I'm excited to finally unpack for the last time, for a very long time hopefully, my mixed media supplies and my different sprays and things of that nature. So once I get these organized and everything, I will share that with you guys later. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up. So thank you for sticking with me and watching, and hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you like it, if you love it. If you don't, please be kind. You don't have to tell me that. But I love it. I'm just like obsessed with this, and I'm hoping that Mr. Timmy will hopefully see this. I'll tag him all over the place. But I'm going to be putting some pictures on my Instagram and things of that nature. So it's kind of a cool, unique, fun way to use some of his embellishments, the embossing folder and the medallions, to use kind of off the page, so to speak, and on the wall in this example. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you next time. And stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!